Hi, welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. I'm your host, Brian Koval. Before we get started, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. If you want to see me play your favorite deck or your spicy brew on the channel, I take donation deck lists. I'll do a deck tech, play a full Magic Online League, and help tune your list. If that sounds good, check out my contact info. It's in the video description below. Now let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel for another legacy video. Today it's Mono-Green Cloudpost. So last week I played a donation deck list from subscriber Gonzalo who tried to fuse 12-post with snow and have like a snow deck that could go a little bigger or a post deck that could go a little sleeker. And that was kind of a mess, but it did get me the juices flowing and make me want to try actual dedicated 12 post. The coolest game we had in the 12 post no hybrid league was the game where I had an Elvish Reclaimer, and the Reclaimer was able to just hide behind. It was able to get Glacial Chasm and then hide behind Glacial Chasm for 4 turns while it slowly assembled Merit Lage. Or no, not Merit Lage. It assembled Emrakul. It got like 2 Cloud Posts, then an Eye of Ugin, untapped it all with Candelabra of Tawnos, and I was able to hardcast Emrakul the turn before I was dead, and that was the coolest game. So Mono Green leans in heavier to that. This has 4 Elvish Reclaimer plus 3 greens and Zenith to go get it, and this deck it's just the it's not farting around with anything else. It wants lots of colorless mana, and then once it has it, this is a 10 mana win the game. 4 for Karn and then 6 for Mycos and Gladys out of the sideboard. Golos can get the Eye of Ugin, and then that's inevitability. Ugin ends most games, Ulamog ends most games, Emrakul ends most games. So that's the plan here. Just assemble lots of colorless mana with your cloud posts, and then kill your opponent with the big hammer. The protective spells here, there's 3 Pithing Needle. You basically just always blind name Wasteland with that. Then Raminep Excavator can protect you if you do get wasted. Reclamation Sage is an out to something like main deck, Blood Moon, or Back to Basics. So that's a cool piece of the puzzle to have. Then Primeval Titan is just a 6/6 all on its own. They have to deal with that while it's ramping you. The sideboard, pretty straightforward stuff. Mindbreak Traps for combo. I added 2 Null Rods also for combo. The stock list didn't have these, and I understand that it is a non-bow with Expedition map. It turns off Golos, but you can't really activate Golos. You don't have a Cascading Cataracts in this particular list, so turning off Golos doesn't matter. It does turn off a couple of the things you can wish for with Karn. Walking Ballista, Liquid Metal Coating, and Tormod's Crypt don't combo with Null Rod, but if you're bringing it in, it's going to be worse for the opponent than it is for you. Like a Null Rod against the Epic Storm or even Doomsday is very good. So that's the sideboard. Corrosion Grips for Back to Basics and Blood Moon. Those are the arch nemesis. It's basically the only way a mid-range deck can ever beat you. And the top end of this deck can take infinite turns and deal infinite damage. Karakas plus Emrakul is you cast Emrakul, get an extra turn, attack, annihilate 6, bounce Emrakul, cast it again. So you get to just go forever. And that's the deck. Make a bunch of mana, cast big things. Let's go do it. So I'm on the play in round 1 here. This hand has Once Upon a Time an Expedition map. It doesn't have a Cloud Post, certainly not 2 of them. I think this is a keep, though. We got a straight path up to this Primeval Titan. Let's just hope to find a Cloud Post here. Alright, we found a Glimmer Post. It's not really what we want, but it does set up future Cloud Posts. We could get this map in. If they are anything like combo or aggressive, they are probably pumping the fist right now. If they're Snowco, they are probably sweating through their boots. Alright, so I can activate Expedition Map this turn, get a Cloudpost, and I can hardcast Once Upon a Time. After that, though, Underground Sea Go is pretty suspicious. Like, this could just be a Storm deck who's over there counting Storm right now. Though not casting anything on turn 1 is kind of suspicious. Like, no cantrip, no. Didn't kill me. The Bug mana base is also suspicious. There are not many decks that have that in present day Legacy. They did not shuffle their Ponder. Okay, so they might be Bug Depths. Does Bug Depths play Stifle? I'm kind of relieved to see the Stifle, because that means they're not a combo deck. So I could play Elvish Reclaimer and set up for the future Cloudpost. I could Once Upon a Time into a forest and play both. I'm gonna Once Upon a Time. Maybe I should have played around Days, but I'm not sure if I can afford that. Like, now it just looks bad because I missed on a green source to use all my mana, but I'm not convinced playing around Days was the right call there. Yeah, so this is definitely the slow and steady version of this deck, which is fine. If you're not getting comboed out, it's really not a big deal to just chugga. Oko is a real clock. Gotta respect that. Alright, I'm just gonna use this right now before they have Stifle up again. Let's hope they don't have Wasteland. So if I draw a green source, I can cast Primeval Titan. I have to assume they have counter magic at this point. Tarmogoyf is a thick lad. Let's see, can we go again? Should probably just tap the Cloudpost. This list doesn't have a Cavern of Souls in it, or else I would get it here. Four, five, six, seven. I'm not on a particularly fast clock here. It's a 3-turn clock. That's enough time, so I have Fatal Push was pretty good there. That also put another a creature in the graveyard. So 8 plus 11, 19. I'm at 1. So that's 17, not 19. I can do math sometimes. Okay, so Karn is an interesting draw, but they didn't add to their board, which makes me think that they're sitting on counter magic over there. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think I have to start looking for Eldrazi here. And I guess I'm supposed to just do it right now. 4, 8, just play around Stifle wherever I can. Okay, so four, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm a little short on Emrakul. I can get Ulamog though. And if they don't have Stifle, that can exile two of their threats. And then it's just a matter of time until I can take over the game. Or I guess, am I just dead anyway? 4, 8. Oh yeah, I'm just dead anyway. So if they counter, yeah, I might have fucked that up. All right, back up Oko. Just trying to get their clock on. Oh, they put a. Oh, they just put lethal on board by putting a planeswalker in the graveyard. Okay, that's good. Powerful stuff. All right. Yep. They were a turn ahead of me there. The Stifle was a big game. So I think I want to board in this Sky Sovereign just as something that can zap an elk. I'm never going to wish for that with Karn. Like, it costs 1 mana less than Mycosynth Lattice. No, that's not really what I'm looking for. What do you cut in a spot like this? I don't think the lands are cuttable. We didn't see a Wasteland, but we did lose to Oko, so I'm still leaving in the Pithing Needle. They can't play Blood Moon or Back to Basics, so I'm going to get rid of Rex Sage. Like, we just saw Bug Colors and all off of non-basic lands. Maybe I should board in the Walking Ballista too, just as something that can tangle in combat. Maybe I don't need Bajuka Bog. I think it was too late. I should have cut Bog for Ballista. Yeah, I'll keep this. I'm going to get Reclaimer online earlier this time. It's nice that I drew one of my 2 fetch lands in the opening hand on the play, because against this Stifle deck, it would feel really bad to have one of your 2 fetch lands stifled. This is a pretty endless stream of Reclaimers. There's 2 in my hand, plus I can Zenith for another one. Even if they have the Fatal Push, more are coming. I have to imagine this Tarmogoyf Stifle deck also has Wasteland in it. We just didn't see one in game 1. I do wish I had a Cavern of Souls, though, that I could search for. And if they have Daze and Wasteland, I'm going to presume, or if they have Wasteland and Stifle, I'm going to presume they also have Daze. So I'm going to play this Reclaimer rather than Zenith for 1 to play around Daze. Alright, so just going to name Wasteland here, get that over with. So now I'm actually in the spot where I need to be hitting land drops, because Glacial Chasm is not a land drop. It's actually negative land drops because you have to sack a land when it comes into play. Drowned in the Loch. That's bad news. That's bad news too. This is a juicy Daze target if there ever was one. Yep. Oh, this sucks. This hand is falling apart under me. Missing land drops now. They have the Tarmogoyf to follow up. Yeah, this is just a proper delving. I'm not going to play Ramunap Excavator right now because I've already used my land drop. And if they can just kill it, then that's bad. I want to be able to get value out of it right away. It's also not holding back this Tarmogoyf, which is another part of the problem. Yeah, for as good as these 12 post decks are against like Sunoco and any sort of medium blue deck or control deck, they are pretty bad against Delver decks. Like you can, if you get up out of range, Delver decks are pretty anemic, like to your top end, but they are very good against your developmental stage of the game. And they did not shuffle this Ponder, so I have to presume that both of these Delvers are going to flip. If this resolves, we might have a chance, because we have this Glacial Chasm that can buy all sorts of time. And I'm going to fetch right now while they're not going to stifle me. So let's see how long this Excavator can stick around for. So that's a lot of damage. I'm going to have to Glacial Chasm just to stay alive here. Bummer. I'm going to sack Glimmer Post because that can gain me some life. And buy me an extra turn with Glacial Chasm in play, maybe. This we'll see how all in on this beatdown plan they were. So I can pay 2, I go to 5. I play Glimmer Post, I get those 2 back. Then I pay 4, I go to 3. I can have this in play for like 2 more turns of development and see where that goes. Or 0, or I'm just dead. Yeah, so I have to chump to go to 1. Yeah, I have no outs here. Alright. Absolutely Delverified. Next round. I don't have to play again for round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. It does all sorts of good stuff. It needs lands, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the other 6 cards in my hand find lands. So I'm going to Once Upon a Time first, of course, and then see if I find a Cloudpost. If I find Post, I might just play that. If I don't, actually, I think I'm going to play Reclaimer either way. Yikes. Okay, so I think Thespian Stage is the best land here for my hand. Yeah, I'll get Reclaimer into play. Like the Vesuva comes into play tapped, Bajuka Bog doesn't do anything. Now we find out their Dredge. So I'm lining up my hand so I can Pithing Needle next turn and then also Ancient Stirrings. Ooh, Arkham's Astrolabe is usually a good sign for this deck. That also means we don't have to Pithing Needle Wasteland. Probably. So I could Needle Oko. There's not a Dryad Arbor in this deck, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Zenith package isn't quite that robust. You do need to put mana into it. So I can't really double spell this turn. I could Once Upon a Time in their end step. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I think what I should have done is Ancient Stirred before I made my land drop. Then I possibly could have played a Cloudpost this turn. Yeah, that would have been a much better line. So I'm just gonna attack and then end step Once Upon a Time. Yeah, that's fine. Like if I don't attack there, I can guarantee a Cloudpost with an activation, but I have lots of ways to spend my mana anyway. I have Ugin versus this other stuff. Yeah, I guess I'm just getting the basic here. So I can Stirring and Zenith for 1-drop this turn. Kind of hope they do force this. The Swords of Plowshares means they're definitely not show and tell. Like, there's always a chance with a basic forest that you're playing against, basic forest, a basic island that you're playing against show and tell. But I think that chance is about gone now. Alright, found a Cloudpost. That's what we're looking for. Then I'm gonna play Needle and name Oko. Oko, Thief of Crowns. If they turn out to be a Wasteland deck, then they got me. But this start generally does not support Wasteland. Sylvan Library, not bad. Alright, so now time to figure out what the best way to use all this mana is. So there's not a way for me to... Like, basically the choice now is, do I spend a turn getting Reclamation Sage with Zenith to pick off this Sylvan Library, which will help me long term, or do I just start ramping the shit out of my mana to cast this Ulamog? And I'm pretty sure the answer is Ulamog. So if I play Glimmer Post, then I can copy Cloudpost with Thespian Stage, and then I'll have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana next turn. That's a little short, but I have a lot of hot top decks. I guess I can gain an extra life if I copy Cloudpost before I... No, I'm just gonna play this. I don't think 1 extra life is gonna matter compared to if they like jam back to basics this turn. Like if I copy my Cloudpost right now with Thespian Stage to gain 1 extra life, and then they go back to basics on me, and I can't Zenith because I tapped all my lands, that's a bad idea. Like at this point, my path to victory is pretty clear. It's this Ulamog. I have to figure out how to not lose. And I believe the answer to that is play around back to basics. All right, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I draw a post, a locust, either Glimmer or Cloudpost or Vesuva, I can cast Ulamog this turn. Hey. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10. That's the magic shot. I'm going to take out Sylvan Library and Caracas. Maybe I should have just gone after 2 lands, but Oko's already turned off. The Caracas is the one that's going to bounce Ulamog. Alright, so they can Force of Will the 10/10 body, but they still lose all these resources. They also lose the Force of Will and the card they pitched, which was Uro. And I have Primeval Titan follow up next turn, and then I can Zenith for Primeval Titan the turn after that. So we're starting to hammer now. Yep. Pithing Needle doing its job. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you have another Force Blue card? Nope. Alright, so now I'm gonna get Eye of Ugin and another Cloudpost. And then we should be able to easily EMRAKUL next turn. They could like Abrupt Decay, Pithing Needle, and Elk my Primeval Titan, but they're still just under the gun from everything else that's going on here. If they do back to basics, I was going to say I could copy Basic Forest with my Thespian stage, but that would cost me this Cloudpost, so that's just not even worth doing. I take it all back. Yeah, they're just desperately brainstorming for anything here. I wonder if they even have an out. Like, are they brainstorming for Abrupt Decay just to not die to Primeval Titan? Okay, so they threaded that needle. But I wonder if they have a back to basics to shut it all down with. Right, so I'm gonna get another post. I'm pretty sure this pays for itself. It costs 3 to do, and it's worth 4 in play. So yeah, that does net mana. Okay, so that's 6, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 mana. That is enough to Emrakul. It is exactly enough to Emrakul. Perfect. Yeah, so compare that where my opponent was just trying to like draw cards and make their land drops compared to the like Stifle Wasteland Days deck I played against the last round. It's a big deal. So I think I just bring in the Crows and Grips. The Pithing Needles are less important. Oko is still good, but it's not as important as Wasteland. Like basically I'm trading this card in the main deck for Wasteland for this card in the sideboard for back to basics. And I don't think I have any other changes. I could bring in the Sky Sovereign, but I don't think that's what I want to be doing. I just want to be getting up to this top end that they can't really beat. All right, in we go. I'll keep this. All right, so Assassin's Trophy can blow up a Cloudpost. Other than that, like they might have 2 or 3 Assassin's Trophies. We've seen 1. They hit Primeval Titan with 1. They might have up to 3 of that card depending on their build. They could also have just the 1. They probably have 1 or 2 back to basics, or between 0 and 2. Most likely number is 1. Oh, Glacial Chasm. That's not what I want. So I could get Reclaimer into play. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start putting the pressure on them right away. Like Expedition Map takes a couple turns to set up, and it's a one-shot effect. But Elvish Reclaimer, it's like answer this now, or it's gonna start making it rain on you. Okay, so they did leave in some plows. That's fine. Plow is like only good against that one part of the deck. All right, again, I'm gonna Zenith for a Reclaimer instead of going for Map. If they want to force this, that's not even a big deal. I do need to hit a real land drop. And Eye of Ugin will eventually cash in. It's not like having Glacial Chasm in my hand, but it does not get this map into play and activate it the way I would like. And Reclaimer puts its fines into play tapped. All right, so now I'm in a tough spot. I can cash this Glimmer Post in for a Cloud Post. And this has to be my land drop for the turn, unfortunately. So I can rotate Eye of Ugin into a Cloudpost, and then I can Zenith for... Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to rotate Eye of Ugin into a Cloudpost, and then I can Zenith for Raminep Excavator later in the game to get it back if I want it. But my hand is full of top end. I just need to be able to cast it. So like Eye of Ugin is great inevitability when you need to find top end, but I'm already there. They're very close. Next turn they can put this Uro into play, but Reclaimer can find Karakas. They did not shuffle either of those ponders. Alright, sack this land, go get a Cloudpost. I would love to just draw a land naturally so I don't have to worry about mapping or zenithing. Beautiful. Vesuva, copy Cloudpost. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana available right now. This is a situation, I think I just cast Uro. Or not Uro, Golos. My Uro. And Golos will find Karakas. No, that's not even true. I'll just get a Cloudpost. Why get Trixie when you can just Ulamog? I suspect they'll Force of Will this if they have a Force of Will. But if they force this, they're down to 1 card in hand. Yeah, Force Pitching Force. Golos was a nice tester. I'll put a little bit of pressure on their life total. If I get back to basics right now, it could be devastating. But if I untap even one more time, I think things are going to be pretty good. Yeah, they're looking for the green source, so they have everything lined up. Okay, there they go. Now you can Uro. Yeah, they had everything lined up for Uro except blue, blue, green, green. But now they can do it. If I draw another Locust, I can Ulamog exiling Uro and Sylvan Library right now. Uh, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. One short. Is there a way to rotate? So if I play this forest and activate Elvish Reclaimer, sacking a forest, then I'll have 4, 8, 9. I think that's still short. Yeah, that's still not quite enough. I could also just jam Primeval Titan right now. Uh, 6, yeah, 4, 8. Yeah, still one short all the way around. So I guess I'll just go for prime time. Show them what time it is. Yes, use this. I would like to get a little late for that Bajuka Bog. I could just get 2 Cloudposts. I think I want Karakas Cloudpost. And then I can map right now. I have 4 mana. That I don't think mapping is important. I would rather play around back to basics than like get greedy here, because I can already easily Ulamog. If they play back to basics, I can reclaim Glimmerpost into a forest, or I could just let it resolve and Zenith for Rexage. Like they have to deal with Primeval Titan and all my lands this turn. There's one down. All right, 3 cards left over there. Do they kill me? What are you doing in combat? Brainstorming in combat? That's weird. Why? Oh, what if they play Ninja of the Deep Hours? That would be so sweet. If there's like a ninjaing Uro back into your hand, then you can play Uro again. Wow. I'm kind of rooting for that to happen, but I don't think it's gonna. I don't understand why they're doing all this stuff in the middle of combat. Unless their deck plays ninjas. Okay, so I am going to turn one of these forests into another post. Like at this point, I have 2 forests. Let's go. Let's do it. And just make sure I have gazillions of mana to do everything I want. Ten mana for this Ulamog. Get rid of Uro and Sylvan Library. And I still have my land drop for the turn, so for Zenith for 3. This would be a smart thing to fight over if they are going to fight over anything. So they're probably trying to figure out what my Zenith for 3 is for. All right, that's fine. Oh, I probably could have just bounced Ulamog and recast him. That might have been a more exciting play than trying to get my Eye of Ugin online. All right, so I'm going to get Thespian Stage, because that can be a Cloudpost or a basic forest, depending on what my hand needs it to be. So they have to answer this indestructible 10/10. All right, they couldn't do it. So my opponent that game, they did everything they wanted to do. They like fixed their draws. They destroyed my Primeval Titan right when it arrived. They had Uro chunking, and it just didn't matter because this deck just crushes anything fair. All right, I'm on the draw in round 3 against this player who says they're having a great time listening to the Eternal Glory podcast, and thank them for the support. And if you're watching and you don't listen to Eternal Glory, please do. The links are in the description. So this hand is a keep. It needs to develop mana, but it is very good at doing that. So they're on 6. Their avatar is Reanimate, which makes me nervous, but it's also like the 2020 Legacy like showcase avatar, so that doesn't actually mean that they chose Reanimate out of all the options of avatars. It just means that they did well in Legacy, which has its own appeal, own worries. But I would rather play against someone who's good at Legacy on a snow deck than someone who's bad at Legacy on Reanimator. That is generally how I feel about the format. All right, so Once Upon a Time first, because that's how that spell works. So I have a lot of lands. Reclaimer is actually great. If they listen to the podcast, then they know that we spent our last episode talking about the mid-range war and how Cloudpost absolutely demolishes snow. So this should not be news. They could be on Doomsday over there. Show and Tell doesn't usually play Astrolabe, but they do play Snow Islands. So if they play Sylvan Library here, okay, yeah, that's fine. Library is cool. I think that playing Glimmerpost gives me the most mana next turn, but it denies me green. Like no, it doesn't. Okay, yeah, playing Glimmerpost does the most for me here. Because I guess it's identical to if I had played Forest and just cycled a Forest into a Cloudpost and then played Glimmerpost next turn. It's the exact same thing. All right. I'm thinking too hard here, but when you don't have the muscle memory down for a deck, you want to overthink things rather than underthink them. Like if there's a way you can find one more mana, that like you do want to find it. All right, do they have the Oko? There's the Oko. But this is kind of a tough spot because like they definitely want to elk my Reclaimer before they lose to it, but they also went to 11 from their Sylvan Library, so now this 3/3 is kind of a real thing. So I could play Vesuva, copy Cloudpost, or I could play Green Sun Zenith for 3 and try to pick off the Sylvan Library. I think that is worse than just getting my mana under control. Yeah, I just want to get closer and closer to this Emrakul. And I am attacking their face here. Like, I can't kill Oko. I don't care a whole lot about Oko in general. I do care a lot about restricting their life total and how many free cards they can get off this Sylvan Library. But I can Zenith for Primeval Titan next turn because of playing Cloudpost, rather than Zenith for Rexage here. Like, Zenith for Primeval Titan does so much more. Like, that just invalidates so many more cards than taking out Sylvan Library will. And if they have Force of Will for the Zenith, they would have played it last turn. They're going to play it next turn. Like, that's going to happen eventually. Regardless, I might as well get my mana set up. So they fetched. The fetch land takes them to 3, which means they're dead to this Reclaimer. So they're going to have to spend some resources bricking or removing that Reclaimer. All right, Uro's solid. So that gets them out of reach of that. The only thing in play they can elk right now is their Astrolabe, which is not free because it's their only one. Like, that could mess up their mana. I don't think they can possibly attack here. Wow, bold. All right. I would not attack here because attacking means that when I crack back, you're back under 5 life. So, like, if they were at 6, if they just took the trade in combat, they could draw an extra card off Sylvan Library, crack a fetch land, and still be alive. But taking 3 here means that that's not true anymore. Vesuva's a big draw. So 3, 6, 7, or versus next turn 4, 8, 12, 13. I think going for the Zenith here is better. Because it'll demand a Force of Will, or a force, not necessarily of will, but it will demand a force. It'll get 2 cards out of their hand. It'll cost them a life point. I do have to start pressuring their hand, and if this resolves, they just lose. Oh, brainstorming in response. So either they don't have a force, or they have force and Brainstorm's their only blue card, and they're counting on the Brainstorm. I guess they could also be weighing, like, what if I find Swords to Plowshares? Like, if you find Plow, do you even fight over the Zenith? Yeah, this Sylvan Library is just awkward Sensei's Divining Top at this point, with them at 3 life. Oko can make food and gain more life, if necessary. Uro's coming out this turn. Alright, so now my Reclaimer is on blocking duty again. We are mono EMRAKUL from here. It's like an Ancient Stirrings and 4, 8, 9. If I just draw Ulamog, that would be the nuts. Draw Ulamog, draw Ugin. Even Golos is pretty great. Like, something that I can cast while still making my land drop. And I can Ancient Stirrings for most of those cards. And still play them. Alright, yeah, there's Golos. Or I could just take Glimmer Post and make sure that... Actually, I guess I get Emrakul next turn regardless. That's 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so I'm going to take Golos. Let's copy Cloudpost again. Golos will get Karakas if it resolves. Yeah, that was never resolving. There was no chance. So I will map here. Let's see, do I want Karakas or do I just want Eye of Ugin? I probably want Eye. No, Karakas, I'm set up to go off next turn. It's 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah. Yeah, I'm set up to take infinite turns starting next turn, so I'm just gonna get set up here and hope I don't lose right now. Like, I think the only way I lose, like, Thoughtseize would be pretty devastating, honestly. Or, I guess Assassin's Trophy breaking up my Cloudpost would be really bad. Or a main deck back to basics. Like, those are the things I can lose to here. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I think Assassin's Trophy is the thing that I'm most worried about right now. That's the card that's most likely to actually be in their deck and have an impact. And the line I took by getting Karakas instead of Eye of Ugin really exposes me to Assassin's Trophy. So I think maybe getting Eye would have been better. So I am dead on board if I can't Emrakul this turn. Leovold, okay, Leovold's fine. We can beat that one. Alright, 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. Skadoosh. They did all that cool stuff. Worked so hard. They do have an Ice Fang Coatl over there, so I'm not out of the woods. Actually, it's fine, because I can attack, get the Annihilator trigger, bounce before blocks. Yeah, I do just win this game. Yep, infinite turns with infinite EMRAKULS with infinite Annihilator is not bad. God, this endgame is so messed up. As if their hand has Stifle in it, I could still lose this game. But I have a lot of mana. Even if they do have Stifle, even if they do, like... Oh, they sacked so many things that they don't have Death Touch anymore either. So now I can let them block. I even get an extra permanent removed out of this. And that should do it. Chugga, 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 chugga. Ah, Emrakul. What a reasonable magic card. Okay, so this is the same thing as last round. Bring in my Crows and Grips, cut my Pithing Needles, and I think that's all I want to do. Like, I don't care enough about Uro to bring in Tormod's Crypt or Fairy Macabre. Like, I'd rather just have all my cards be good. 3 Crows and Grips feels like a giant hedge anyway. Like I said last round, they have somewhere between 0 and 2 back to basics in their 75, and I'm bringing in all 3 Crows and Grips for like probably an average of 1 back to basics. But it's more important that I can answer it than not. We haven't even seen Karn yet in these 2.5 matches. Maybe Karn will show up this time. Yep, this is a solid hand. I think I lead on Reclaimer rather than Cloudpost. I guess if I draw a another Cloudpost or a Vesuva, that might change my sequencing. But right now, the way things are, I'm going to lead on Reclaimer. Because Reclaimer, I would like to get active. That takes more time to set up. Like Cloudpost, kind of, by entering the battlefield tapped, also takes a turn to get started. It's like the land has Summoning Sickness. But Reclaimer will demand a specific answer that doesn't really line up with the rest of my deck in Swords to Plowshares. So let's do that. I also wonder if I should just be cutting Glacial Chasm in this matchup. Like, does that card do enough to be worth a slot? Is it probably just better as a Pithing Needle? Like, Needling Oko is kind of like Glacial Chasm in this matchup, except it doesn't cost you 2 lands and a bunch of life. Oh, Meddling Mage. What do you even name with that? My spells are also different. All right, Primeval Titan. So I have 2 prime times. Green Sun Zenith makes it pretty easy to dance around that. So the way that this curved out is pretty nice. I get to make Cloudpost and a backup Reclaimer. And if they kept a hand that is just like super hateful against like ramp strategy somehow, I could just get these up to 3/4s and start beating down. This Delver strat. No 3-drop. That's suspicious. Right, I think I should Stirrings. Or I could... So I could Stirrings, or I could play this Forest, rotate one of the forests into Cloudpost, then use Cloudpost to turn the other forest into Cloudpost, and I can untap with 9 mana, but none of it's green. Does that matter? Like, maybe that's a better line for next turn when I have Excavator. Alright, I'm gonna Ancient Stirrings. Alright, so I have, it's hard to tell because this window is a crazy size. Alright, so EMRAKUL, I'm not ready for her. Glimmerpost or another forest. I think I want Glimmerpost. Alright, so yeah, I'll play the Glimmerpost. Now I can rotate the forest into a Cloudpost, set up Golos, and then I can excavate some of my lands back. So I'm still hitting land drops even if I'm rotating lands away. I can keep my green mana available if I want it. Mostly worried about back to basics at this point. Like if they back to basics, I can use Cloudpost to turn Glimmerpost into a forest, and then I have 3 green to still operate under. And I can slowly rotate all of my non-basic lands into basic forests until I find the Crossing Grip, then I can excavate them back into play. Alright, I have Karakas for the Uro long term. So Golos, if he resolves, might just get Bajoka Bog. That can't be right though. No, that sucks. I don't care about Uro. I keep pretending I'm playing a blue deck, but I'm just not. So let's rotate that into a Cloudpost. Like, because they have Meddling Mage on Primeval Titan, I don't need double green basically for anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I rotate this into Cloudpost now, I'll have more mana. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh no, I can Golos and just also rotate. Okay. Here's Golos. Force of Willingness would be delightful. Because I have the mana left to also cast Raminep Excavator this turn. Running it out without a land drop isn't ideal, but I think it's okay here. So do I get Eye of Ugin? I'm already holding EMRAKUL. I think I just want to keep posting. Yeah, I'm just going to get another post. Alright, the whole gang's in play now. That is 17 mana. So, and I have the Karakas. So the EMRAKUL endgame is online starting next turn. If I don't get back to basics right now, we got this. Part of me is hoping they do have back to basics, so this game is a little interesting, but most of me is hoping that we just easily win with EMRAKUL. I guess technically they could play a 4th land and hardcast Mindbreak Trap on my EMRAKUL. That does work. Should be gone. Alright, so I presume this Prudence going to bottom because it followed a Brainstorm. Yeah, they bottomed. So now their 5-card hand has to contain blue source and back to basics. And even if they have that, it costs them 2 of their own lands. Yeah, this doesn't look good for the opponent. Oh yeah, bad news bears. Here comes EMRAKUL. Boop, ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Infinite turns. and they don't know I have Caracas in hand, but they can see the Reclaimer with 2 mana available in play, so I can just get Caracas. Anyway. the style force of will on Emrakul. Just show me who's in charge. Forcing it twice, love it. Yep, that just shows how much respect Emrakul has for blue decks. GG's. On the play in round 4, I'm keeping this hand. And Once Upon a Time's been just delightful. I know this card got banned in, I think 2 formats, but it's still fun to play here in Legacy. Finding the second Golos isn't really what I wanted there. Like, I already have one. I really wanted a Cloudpost. But Elvish Reclaimer can post up my clouds. A moment of truth. Show me Snow Forest Astrolabe. Tundra. Alright. That's good value out of a Swords to Plowshares in this matchup. So I am fairly confident that this deck isn't not going to have Wasteland in it. I'm just going to hold my Pithing Needle for a minute until I have more information. Like, I could probably pretty safely just name Oko. Yeah, this turn 2, nothing go. Like, they gotta be a Snoko deck over there. Alright, so I can Zenith for another Reclaimer and also Needle Oko. This is not bad. Yeah, they're gonna Coatl in response here, I imagine. See if they can find the counterspell. This looks like another Snoko deck team. Are we just gonna get to farm Snoko 3 matches in a row? Okay, that's fine. Oko, Thief of Crowns. So Force of Negation pitched a Brainstorm. That was good value off of a Green Sun Zenith. Thoroughly him to Tarocked them. So if I find another land, this Golos Parade can begin. And the deck is mostly lands or cards that find lands, with the notable exception of Emrakul the Aeon Storm. Alright, so I'm just going to pass here. I'm going to turn Thespian Stage into a Glimmer Post in the end step, because that is just another Locus. Right, so they are, if they pass the turn here, I'm going to assume their hand is full of counterspells. They could also just deploy an Oko if they have one here, because I'm sure this deck has Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy in it, and they can just have him in play ready to activate when they find it. Guess we'll find out soon enough. And if they do have main deck back to basics that they just jam right here, I can copy a forest with Thespian Stage and still be playing. Alright, no problem. Okay, so I'll turn that into a Locus. Time to draw a land that makes mana, please. Okay. Now we're getting set up. This does not cast Golos this turn, but it goes ham bananas next turn. These Coatls. The Value Engine Coatl. This is one of my favorite things about Legacy, and I guess Magic in general, that like a double Icefang Coatl start is like nightmare fuel for a Delver deck. But I'm over here like, yeah, none of this matters at all. Narset Parter Avails. That's a sweet one. Good thing my deck doesn't draw any cards. Found Force of Will. Okay. So the first Golos is going to get countered. All right, let's turn this into a better locust. Okay, so 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. That's less than I want. I wonder if I could bait with an Elvish Reclaimer. I doubt that they're going to force this. Yeah, no way. Golos. They have to force this. It is required. Oh, all right. Lightning bolting that. So they bolt that, they force this, pitching Oko. So I have the follow-up Golos for next turn. I'm really not under any pressure here. If this Narset finds another Force of Will, that could slow me down a bit. As long as it doesn't find back to basics, we're good. This is a cool deck, by the way. My opponent's playing with Swords to Plowshares and Lightning Bolt in it. This doesn't look like Pokepile. Like Pokepile doesn't have white in it. This is like a Bant mid-range kind of deck. Like this looks sleeker than Snoko, but it's still like a lot smaller than or a lot bigger than Delver. Bummer. They found the force. All right, now we need to keep developing Cloudposts. Yeah, finding that second force, absolutely brutal. Let's hope their other card isn't blue. Of course it is. This Narset. All right, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not even close to EMRAKUL. That Golos could have found Bajuka Bog and just ended this game, but instead they had the force. Fucking Narset. All right, so we are getting. Looks like we're getting out controlled here. Everything lined up really well. This Uro found the extra card. Now they have a real clock. So if I find another Cloudpost, that would be 4, 8, 12. Yeah, if I find another Cloudpost or thing that can become Cloudpost, I can still win this game with EMRAKUL before it's too late. Like 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, there's I don't think there's a way to cast EMRAKUL this turn for me. Just very interested in a Vesuva, Cloudpost, or Thespian stage right now. I would even take an Expedition map, but all of that, Green Sun Zenith would be pretty great. Ooh, does that cast EMRAKUL right now? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Nope. Wait, 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, not quite. Does gain a bunch of life, though. Okay, so now Ayavugan casts EMRAKUL. My opponent has a lot of permanents in play, I will say. So an EMRAKUL hit isn't even necessarily like they're over 15 with over 6 permanents in play, like well over 6 permanents. So an EMRAKUL hit isn't even a guaranteed win anymore. And so any Cloudpost now, even actual Cloudpost, like it enters the battlefield tapped post, casts Emrakul. A forest does not. Green Sun Zenith for Primeval Titan would be pretty great. That gains me a zillion life and guarantees Emrakul next turn plus Karakas. All of that is assuming they haven't found another force yet. So a lot of live draws here. Basically anything other than basic forest is pretty decent here. Okay. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That bounces the Uro. And so that takes a huge chunk off the clock, and it sets up the basic land to make infinite Emrakuls in the future. Getting close. Oh fuck, I let them attack. That was supposed to bounce. Yeah, they just drew an extra card for no reason. Whoops. I was thinking about if there's anything I need to do with this thespian stage. Like what if they have Assassin's Trophy and I just let them draw an extra card for no reason? Oops. Hopefully it won't matter. If Emrakul comes into play, they can have all the cards they want. Alright, so they're drawing millions of cards, gaining millions of life. Yeah, they evoke this one and then escape the other one. Oh, okay, no, they're just Karakasing their own thing. Alright, yeah, so yeah, that's a pretty sweet draw engine. Karakas basically becomes like tap, gain 3 life, draw a card. Suspect the other one's going to come out of the graveyard right now. Keep that pressure up. So even a basic forest at this point does the job. A post would go into infinite mode. Ugin the Spirit Dragon. What do you think the chances are that they just have nothing over there? Just no counter spells in their 5-card hand. Yeah, didn't think so. Okay. So we play another turn. This time I'll remember to Karakas in the right time. Oko's still turned off. I'm on a 4-turn clock from the Coatls, so basically I have 4 turns to draw any untapped mana source before they kill me. That's the game we're playing. So now the graveyard is low enough that they would have to do some work to even escape the next Uro. Like there's only 3 cards in there. Oh, I guess they have shown me Lightning Bolt this game. So if they have 2 more bolts, they could just burn me out. Oh, Omnath, yikes. So Omnath can also burn me out. Like if they go fetch land, fetch, play Uro, I would go to 2. As if they have any fetchable lands left in their deck. There's only 17 cards left in their deck, and there's a lot of lands in play. They might not have a fetchable land. But you definitely put Uro in first, just in case. As that maximizes drawing another land. Yeah, I don't know. If they can make 3 land drops this turn and cast Lightning Bolt, I die. Just kind of have to hope they're out of lands. Alright, Uro didn't put in a land. That means I'm probably not taking 4. Yeah, they're out of lands. Okay, so all right, deck. Time for a post. We need a post. Desperately need a post. Land, please. Okay. Let's see. Does this get me there? They're probably going to counter it. Okay, they didn't counter it. That's good news. So 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not enough. If I get Glimmer Post, I can gain 5 life and go off next turn. Yeah, I think getting myself out of bolt range is more important here than having more mana, because this is plenty of mana. Okay, they're red blasting my forest. The reason they do that is to get cards in their graveyard for Uro. So I have to bounce Omnath this time with Caracas, which they get to draw an extra card off of, which is kind of lame. But like I said, I don't think an extra card is going to matter once EMRAKULS is chunking in. They would have to have main deck Mindbreak Trap to beat EMRAKULS, I think. So Omnath doesn't matter if it attacks, so I can just do this in combat once they're committed to the attack. Not that I think for 1 second they weren't going to attack anyway. They have not shown me any black cards, so they might, like, they have the Astrolabes, but they might not play Assassin's Trophy. And Trophy on Caracas would win them this game. They also might deck, like, even without playing EMRAKULS, they might just deck before they can win the game, because Uro and Omnath both draw cards. They have 11 cards left in their deck. Oh, it's nice that they made a land drop before playing Omnath. So they don't even get to gain the 4 life off of Omnath. Alright, yeah, we take those small edges. Just don't have back to basics, please. If they have one, I suspect they would have found it by now. Alright, yep, Uro, irrelevant. I think we're doing it. Okay. They did still have a fetch land left to gain 4 life with. But I think that we have won this game. Once again, showing just how laughable everything Snoko is doing compared to EMRAKULS the Aeon's Torn. So 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. EMRAKULS. And I have the Caracas, so that should do it. Yep. They drew 51 cards that game. They did all of this stuff. Omnath triggered so many times. Oko triggered so many times. They were attacking with Ice-Fang Quaddle since turn 2, and it just doesn't matter. They countered a bunch of my spells. Doesn't matter. Crazy stuff. So I'll bring in... I'm actually going to cut the Glacial Chasm like I was talking about last round. And so I'm going to leave in I'm going to bring in 2 Grips and leave in 2 Pithing Needles, because I think that I'm more worried about Oko. I mean, I'm more worried about Back to Basics, but Oko is a card that can end the game quickly. And like we saw last game, if they're not clocking hard, they're gonna lose. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try this instead of the full 3 grips. Just 2 grips, leave in 2 needles. Let's do it. And yeah, I'm not gonna bring in Sky Sovereign. 3 damage doesn't kill Omnath, and Omnath is like the one interesting thing my opponent's doing compared to Snowco. But by playing Omnath, it means they're probably not playing Assassin's Trophy. So yeah, that's a fair deal. We finally drew a Karn. It's round 4, and we finally drew a Karn, though it was not the right play. Definitely EMRAKULS was the right play. I'm a little surprised there's no Ensnaring Bridge in this sideboard. Maybe there should be. Though I guess you have to win through combat. So, never mind. Maybe not. This hand, I'll keep it. That's the thing about Snowco. They give you time. I got lots of top end here. Waterlogged Grove is a little dangerous. It's the first time we've drawn this card, especially early on. We need to find another mana source. But that expedition map is good. Just hope that they don't needle map. So that would be like the full Hymn to Turok. Plus Stone Rain, plus double Stone Rain. It's probably Sylvan Library would be my guess here. Yep. Just always assume my opponent's going to play the best possible card. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I want to get that online now. That'll save me a bunch of life from the Waterlogged Grove. Though hanging 2 maps out there, if they did bring in a Pithing Needle, they're going to get me good. I don't even mind if they elk one of them, though. Because that's a 3/3 on this board. Producing pressure. Double Karn, though. It is likely at this point that Karn is going to be a big part of this game plan. Like, I see this game going like Karn gets countered, Ugin wins. Are they digging for a land drop? Or are they just deciding which land to play? Okay, yeah. I wouldn't be so lucky. It would be insane if they saw 4 cards and none of them were lands. Okay, well, let's hope that they don't play Stifle. Alright, so starting next turn, I can Karn. And then the turn after that, I can Ulamog. Just gotta watch out for that back to basics. The Nemesis. I have Zenith for Rexage, but with 8 cards in their hand, 10 cards in their hand, I have to imagine that one of them is a Force of Will. And the way they've fetched doesn't really lend itself to a back to basics game, though it'll be worse for me, of course, than it will be for them. Oh, Damping Sphere. That one's fucked. Okay. Yeah, that's a totally different type of problem. I have not seen this card in Legacy, but yeah, that's a good one. But they'd have to pay 2 mana for a Ponder because they sequenced the way that they did. Chose to shuffle. Alright, so if a land would tap for more than 1, it taps for 1 colorless instead, and spells cost more than you want them to. So I'll play Karn. Time to start challenging these Force of Wills. Like, Karn is actually the bait spell because Green Sun Zenith resolving is more important. So they have Force. They're thinking about if they even care, though. So what do I want to wish for? I think I want to wish for liquid metal coating. Oh, I think I might have just fucked up. I think I should have plussed Karn because now they can play Oko and kill him. They showed me that they have Force of Will in hand, though. Like, even though I didn't see it, the Magic Online interface, there's no way to fake losing one life, like, while you're pretending to cast a spell. So they definitely have Force of Will, 100%. Yeah, I should have plussed Karn and passed the turn. Losing to Oko never feels great. Yep. Fuck my life. I did this to myself. The backup Karn is good, though. Maybe. Maybe it's not even good. I don't know. I hope I draw a land. Gotta keep hitting land drops one way or the other. Alright, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, but they have to elk their... Yeah, so they would have to elk their Damping Sphere if they want to attack Karn for 7 next turn. I can make Expedition Map a 1/1 and attack Oko. Is that crazy? I don't think it's that crazy. They could flash in a Coatl here and trade with my Expedition Map, but that's fine. That means they're not killing Karn. Okay, so Karn is likely to survive unless they have Lightning Bolt, and they need a red source, like an actual red source, because Astrolabe's not going to do it. Oh, I forgot that Coatl is just in play. Duh. Just playing 3D chess when 2D would be plenty. Living in a two-dimensional world. Alright, so if they have a fetch land in their hand, they can Uro this turn, and naturally they do. Oh, they didn't Uro this turn. That's lucky. Huh. Oh wow, just natty draw the Bajuka Bog. Don't mind if I do. See you later. Uro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want to... so I have to sequence this carefully. I'm going to cast the liquid metal coating. Like, having to play around this Force Will is rough. I guess I'll just Zenith. Like, they have the Force Will, they're always going to have the Force Will. At least this turn they have to pitch for it. Like, next turn they can just untap with 5 mana. Oh wow, they let me have that. That's surprising. Okay. bold strategy. See if it pays off for him. Oh, what all this shit they're doing. What are they doing? Stop doing stuff. Yes, please. Get rid of that thing. Okay, so somehow that happened. Alright, Quaddle is another 3 damage. I can easily chump with Rex Age though. Like that's not what this game is about. They might have to elk my expedition map at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm still not particularly close to this Ulamog. Yeah, I have 8 mana up front, and I have 8 mana if I map for another Cloudpost. I guess I have 9 mana if I get Glimmerpost. Alright, so they're just putting me on a 2-turn clock here. Just natty draw Glimmerpost. Okay, so time to do some math. If Ancient Stirrings finds Glimmerpost, that's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's exactly enough for Ulamog. Alright, and if they force this, then I'll just search for Glimmerpost with Expedition Map. Found Eye of Ugin. Oh, I also found Pithing Needle. I can Needle Oko, but I don't think that's going to matter. Though it couldn't hurt. Alright, yeah, I'll grab this Needle. Needle naming Oko. That'll stop a flashed in Quaddle from killing me. Oko, Thief of Crowns. Let's hope they don't have Stifle. Get Glimmerpost. Post up. Gain 3 life. I'll play Liquid Metal Coating, just in case I top deck Karn. I have it ready. Okay, so I'm at 12. Alright, yeah, turning off the Oko did just save my life there. So 9, 10, 11, I'm at 1. Do you have all 3 Quaddles? Alright, so if they can remove Liquid Metal Coating, I lose. I actually lose anyway, because they still have the Force of Will that they've clutched jealously onto, and Ulamog at 1 life, even if it removes 2 threats, still I'm at 1, I can't block all of them. So I think I need to find a Glimmerpost is how I can still win this game. So I need to 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I need to draw a card with Waterlogged Grove at the end of turn. I can't tap it for mana anyway, so might as well dig for the Glimmerpost. Oh, Corrosion Grip. There you are, just in time. Glimmerpost. They still have that Force of Will from long ago. So I guess I should just try the Ugin. It's going to get forced, and then I can concede. But yeah, all right. You got me. It's a little too slow there. That Damping Sphere was excellent. All right, so now that I've actually seen a hate card, the Corrosion Grip's coming in. Number 3. I did like Pithing Needle there. Maybe one less Once Upon a Time will do the trick. Okay. Back in. Maximum Corrosion Grips now. Oh, hell yeah. This is the postiest hand we've had yet. No green mana, hopefully no problem. We'll see where this goes. Oh, they only have... They're under 5 minutes on their clock, too. The clock is a real win condition against Snowco, as obnoxious as that is. If I find a green source, I feel like I can't really lose this game. I have Thespian Stage, which can copy Forest, so I do have a green source. Alright, I'm just going to Needle Oko now, get that out of the way. Oh wow, aggressive. They must have an Oko heavy hand. Or they think that they can't win without Oko in 4 minutes, which is probably true. Alright, if I don't draw my own green source here, yeah, I'm gonna have to play Stage to copy their Forest. Which sucks. It's gonna be a little bit too slow. Like, I probably might have Corrosion Gripped this Astrolabe if I just ripped a green source here. Though, I think that's crazy. Like, knowing that they have Damping Sphere in their deck. Alright, so they're gonna play Oko here. Start attacking me for 4. I have Glimmer Post that can gain 3 life. I'm gonna copy their Forest. That gives me Ancient Stirrings. Alright, Snow Forest achieved. I have Ugin, not a bad one. See if they want to Force a Will this too. Alright, so I found an Ulamog. Pretty sure I can cast that next turn. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. Exactly cast Ulamog next turn. That should shut this down. So they have to have Damping Sphere right now to keep from dying next turn, but I have the grip to kill them the turn after anyway. Alright, so Ulamog's coming in. They can force the Ulamog, but I can remove the 3, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to get rid of Oko and Astrolabe. So they can force Ulamog, but now they're only attacking for 3 a turn instead of 6, and then eventually more. Yeah, I had to go after the threats instead of the lands because I am actually just dying to their board. And Emrakul is coming 2 turns from now. I take 3, I search for Emrakul, I take 3, I cast Emrakul, and then I annihilate all their permanents with myself at 7 life. And back to basics could actually still win the game, but I don't think they have that and the other thing. Okay, so can I search for Emrakul and activate this expedition map this turn for Cloudpost? So I have 7 here. No, I don't think I can. I can play the expedition map, but I can't do both. That does not hardcast Force of Negation. Oh, they're just cycling Wilt. Okay, that's fair. Okay, that Force of Negation does work. Alright, I think I get the other Ulamog. Like, I don't even get Emrakul, because I don't think I can cast her. Yeah, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I can't even cast Emrakul. So, yeah, I'm just gonna get another Ulamog, exile Oko and this Icefang Coatl, and then even if that doesn't win the game on the spot, I don't think they're going to be able to dig out from underneath that. Grab this backup Ulamog. Then 8 mana. Exile this and this. They would need a third Oko. Alright, yep. Just shut it down. Too good. Chugga chugga chugga. Eldrazi. Alright, we're on the draw in round 5. After farming Snoko easily 3 rounds in a row, we're due for a combo deck. I don't know what my opponent's playing. I'm just planning for the worst. I'm going to keep this hand, though. It has Reclaimer, a second Reclaimer. And you have to trust in the deck to find you what you need. Oh, another Snow Forest. But they didn't do anything with it. So this could be a mirror of some kind, like lands or depths. Like, what kind of deck goes Forest Go? Like, no Astrolabe. What are you holding up if not Crop Rotation? This is a cool forest, though. Okay, this is a mirror. Pithing Needle, naming Reclaimer, probably. Or do they name Wasteland? That's actually close. Like, do you name the Devil in Play, which might also be in your deck? Or am I could be a Depths deck myself. Like, they could name Ghost Quarter, because Depths plays Ghost Quarter. That could mess up them. Alright, yeah, they just named Reclaimer. That's fair. Did all that work just to come to the obvious answer? Alright, I'll get that into play right now. It doesn't use my mana perfectly, but what will? I kind of want a Dryad Arbor in this deck. There's been a number of times where the Zenith for 0 would have been really good. Okay, that's great. When your opponent misses their land drop in a Cloudpost mirror, that's pretty exciting. I keep expecting them to crop rotate in the end step, and they don't do it. Is it time for Sylvan Scrying? What do you got? Alright, they're just packing it up. Yeah, the writing's on the wall there. They're so far behind, and I'm just hitting my land drops. I had the stage in play. So that turn I could have played Vesuva, copying Cloudpost, activated Thespian Sage, copying Cloudpost, and untapped with 10 mana. Yeah, I think they were right to concede. So what the heck do I do in the mirror? This is preposterous. I don't actually have a Wasteland, Ghost Quarter, anything in the deck, or else Crucible would be insane. I am going to cut Glacial Chasm, because anything my opponent attacks me with is going to be annihilating me or exiling my deck or whatever, in addition to doing damage. So that's not really going to help. So I could... So that's the cut. What am I bringing in? I could move the Sky Sovereign into the main deck to mess with their Elvish Reclaimers. Crows and Grip could pick off a key, like Pithing Needle or Expedition Map or something. It could kill Golos. I guess it could also, I could float mana in response to a Mycosynth Lattice and pick that off, so maybe it is just Crows and Grip. And I'm going to cut the Pithing Needles. I'm actually going to cut all the needles for grips. And maybe I should just put Sky Sovereign in the deck. No, I'll leave one needle in. Like, it's awkward that we have all the same cards that we want to name. But like, Crows and Grip, I think Karn is the scariest card in this mirror match. Maybe I should have boarded out Ugin. He doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to keep this hand because it has Once Upon a Time in it. Like, if this was a random different card, I think I would have to mulligan this. Because having 2 lands, and one of them is Vesuva and the other is legendary, is not great. But Vesuva can copy their lands too. Oh wow. They kept a no-lander or a Mono Vesuva hand. Oh no, okay, they were just going to second main. Never mind. I got so excited. Alright, so now I know they have a Vesuva, which means playing Cloudpost might not be the most advisable. Alright, so I'll just match what they're doing. Is this the... No, this is not the Judge land. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is the Secret Lair Snow land. I got it now. I'm with you. Well, this is the world we've both chosen to live in. Unfortunately, I'm on the draw, which just is way worse here. They're going to have the first crack at Karn. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they're just playing Karn. Never mind. This is not interesting. Oh yeah, I forgot Cloudpost counts all Cloudposts in play, all Locus in play, not just that you control. So I actually can Karn next turn too. Can I do anything better? So they're gonna get... So I have 5 mana. I could play my Karn. And then they can't lattice, because then we just time out. Alright, mutually assured destruction. I'll attack the Karn. And now I'm just gonna F6. Like, if they wish for lattice here, then neither of us can take any more game actions other than playing lands. And then it just becomes like, who's ahead on the clock? Because we both play Emrakul the Aeon Store and we can't deck each other. 4, 5, 6. I don't know. This is weird. If they do wish for lattice, I'm gonna play it out. If necessary, I will edit the video so you don't have to watch me just look at each other for a while. Alright, so they got Sky Sovereign. That makes sense. So I can also get Sky Sovereign then, right? Yes. Or I didn't board it in, did I? No, okay, good. So 4, 5. So my Sovereign blows up your Karn, but I still have Karn. I think you can't crew because I have Karn. I guess I'm gonna Zenith for the Elf. If they don't have a pretty good follow-up, I think they just blew that. Like if they have Ulamog or something, sure. That's pretty good. Zenith for 6. Alright, Primeval Titan's also pretty good. See if I can punish this somehow. Alright, so they're set up to go bananas next turn. Can I go bananas now? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not really. My sideboard's not going to help me here. They could... I have to not put any Cloudposts into play, is the trick. I guess I just make my boat into a 5/5. Or, yeah, 5/5. or attacks. Okay, so I can attack and deal 3 to their Primeval Titan. Then if they block, it's a trade. Then what? I'd probably just play my own Primeval Titan. Yes, alright, so I want to get Thespian Stage and Eye of Ugin. Thespian Stage, play this forest, activate. I think I want to get Glimmer Post. Okay. Whee! What a mess this is. So 5 locusts in play. Yeah, if they just go to combat first, they should be able to easily summon an Eldrazi. Yeah, if they just, yeah, they get land plus Caracas. So I'm losing this game because I was on the draw. 6, 12, 18, 20. Yeah, alright, I'm dead. Guess I should have made them show me the EMRAKUL, but I believe it that it's over there. Okay, weird game. Now that I remember that locusts count each other, that's really interesting. Yeah, Karn is the best card in this matchup for sure. I probably would board in Mindbreak Traps if my deck could make blue mana. Just like getting to the hardcast point to, because this game is going to come down to Emrakul one way or the other. Oh, baby. Do I want Primeval Titan? Yeah, I guess. Alright, Once Upon a Time, revealing Vesuva. Needle Reclaimer, probably. So if they're needling a Reclaimer, what do I want to do about that? I could Zenith for another 1/2 creature. Or I could save my Zenith. What's even in my deck? The next one is Excavator or Sage. And that's several turns away. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get my Zenith on. This would be another spot where Dryad Arbor would be great. I'm not going to play a Cloudpost for their Vesuva to copy. Not that they need my help. Alright, well, here's Expedition Map. They are ramping much faster than me this game, and I think I'm going to lose because of it. Yeah, I've already seen Vesuva. That's the second Cloudpost. There's Golos. They can Golos next turn. I really wish I had like one Ghost Quarter in this deck. I don't know if you're supposed to be teching out for the mirror, but it would not be the worst. All right, another map. Can't take Corrosion Grip, unfortunately. So I can play this map. If I play this, it soups up their Cloudpost, but I'm going to lose if I don't do it, so I guess it better put it in. Like, that might have just jumped them up to Ulamog by playing my Cloudpost, but I'm not going to win a game where I don't have a Cloudpost of my own. Yeah, 4, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, they could just Ulamog here. Yep. Okay. We are going to lose this mirror for sure. Two, 3 mana left over after that. Yeah, I guess I could draw a Needle for Eye of Ugin, but I did not do that. So, yep, that's the game. GG's, I guess. Yeah, this does, or I guess I could. No, but they're gonna still do the same thing they did last game, where, yeah, I'm just a turn behind in both of these games. Wait, 5, 7, 8. Whoa, 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 whoa. Can I Ulamog? Oh no, it would cost me 2 mana. Oh wait, so if I search for Glimmer Post, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's still just 7. 5, 6. Yeah, there's no way to get up there. I guess I'll try this again and just hope that they mess up. I'll make them show me the EMRAKUL this time. So I want Eye of Ugin and Thespian Stage. I want to activate this. I guess it doesn't even matter if they get up to Ulamog or EMRAKUL, because if they just get up to Ulamog, that's enough. Yeah, I'm super dead. Bummer. Game 2 was a die roll. Game 3, they had a better hand than I did. I guess maybe I'm supposed to mulligan to hands that can produce Cloudpost. Like, this is the one deck in the format that can hang with what I'm doing. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 21. Yeah, I'm dead. GG's. All right, so we lost a Delver, farmed Snoko 3 times, and then lost some coin flips in the mirror. That mirror match was a complete slugfest, pod racing all over each other. But this is not really my style of deck in general. I have played this deck before in tournaments many years ago, and I think the deck is very strong. I think that I would rather be a blue deck that's prepared for this deck, like whether it's Delver with the Wastelands and the Fast Clock, or if it's a Snoko type pile with Blood Moon or Back to Basics in it. I'd rather be on that side of things. But if people are on just regular stock Snoko around your local metagame, this could just crush for a while until people figure out what you're up to and adjust to it. So, I mean, there's not a whole lot else to say about this deck. You can mess with the Karn package a little bit. Maybe having a Dryad Arbor for the Green Sun Zenith, that would have been good a couple of times. Maybe an Ensnaring Bridge might be good in the sideboard. One Ghost Quarter might be good to go with the Ramanep Excavator and the Crucible of Worlds, just like something other than a fetch land, like one fetch land for value. Because this Ramanep Excavator doesn't do a whole lot except fight against enemy wastelands, and I guess it sort of is card advantage with Elvish Reclaimer, but it's not much of an engine. Like playing one Ghost Quarter or one Wasteland or something. You're going to name Wasteland with Needle, but like one Ghost Quarter could be pretty good. Yeah, there's a little bit of room there. We're lucky we didn't play against any combo decks. Managed to put up a winning record in the league. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.